chairman Etienne Coutier and a close friend Greshlyn Brouwer, the son of former national football team goalkeeper Denzel Brouwer. On page 3, it was announced on Tuesday that the court case in which a man from Grootfontein is accused of terrorism and treason will be heard on camera, as the state claims it is a matter of national security. According to the state, Jonah Hangula's alleged crimes were brought to the attention of local authorities by the U.S. Federal Detective Services and the FBI. According to the indictment, he faces 18 charges, which include terrorism, treason, and various violations of the Immigration Control Act. He is believed to be the first person in Namibia to be charged under the law on combating terrorism and its promotion activities. The law came into effect in July 2014. The state claims that Hangula recruited people to help with his plot to carry out a coup in Namibia. Moving over to the Allgemeine Zeitung's front page, it reports that it seems that some ministers are striking a new note. It remains to be seen whether this is a fundamental policy change by the governing party. On the one hand, unprofessionally managed state-owned companies are often criticized by ministers, and on the other hand, it is not up to individual ministers alone to gag or close a state-owned company. Meanwhile, RCC and even Air Namibia remain under discussion. On page 3, the Allgemeine Zeitung reports that King Felipe of Belgium and his delegation are currently visiting Namibia. The talks between him and the Namibian head of state, President Nangolo Bumba, include Namibia's rough diamonds and the latest discoveries of oil and gas. After the break, we continue with our newspaper review.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Still with the newspaper review, the Namibian reports that King Felipe of Belgium is yet to respond to President Nangolo Bumba's dissatisfaction with the G7's ban on the importation of all non-industrial diamonds mined, processed, and produced in Russia. Russia launched a war on Ukraine in February 2022. Belgium is responsible for implementing the ban. Bumba on Tuesday told the king the ban would be detrimental to Namibia's diamond trade and would have a negative economic impact on African diamond-producing countries such as Namibia, Botswana, Angola. Namibia, one of the top diamond miners in Southern Africa, produced 2.3 million carats of rough diamonds last year, recording a 9% increase from the 2.1 million carats produced in the previous year. On page 3, the Walvis Bay municipality says it has stopped Red Force debt management from disconnecting the water supply to residents whose accounts are in arrears, while finding an amicable solution to a contractual issue regarding the company. Representing the town, lawyer Richard Metcalfe on Tuesday in a statement said the municipality would reserve the disconnection of accounts into their employees. Red Force has attained an order stopping the municipality from terminating its service contract. In the interim, the Municipal Council of Walvis Bay has instructed that the disconnection and reconnection of municipal water services and municipal water readings will be reserved exclusively as part of its employees' duties. No debt collector shall whatsoever carry out such duties for and on behalf of the municipality of Walvis Bay. The statement reads, Metcalfe says the municipality would also launch an investigation into the awarding of the contract to the debt management company. Moving over to the New Era, its lead story reports that President Nangolo Bumba has reassured workers that the government has their best interests at heart and will continue pursuing progressive policies. Bumba made these remarks in a statement read on his behalf by Deputy Prime Minister John Motora at the commemoration of Workers' Day held at Rundu yesterday. In this regard, we are cognizant of the rationale for a national minimum wage to benefit low-paid workers, particularly the unorganized, he said. To this effect, the government has taken deliberate steps to safeguard workers' rights and promote workers' welfare across all sectors by enacting robust laws and policies, he said. Mumba then urged employers and employees to respect the laws of the land governing employer and employee relations. Our labor inspector must diligently enforce the Labor Act in all sectors and across all industries without fear or favor. On page 3 of the New Era, a case in which the United People's Movement took the Popular Democratic Movement to court over its decision to withdraw its members from the National Assembly was struck from the roll for lack of urgency. Two UPM politicians, party leader Jean van Wyk and Frans Bertoloni, were ejected from parliament for backing presidential hopeful Ali Angola. On Tuesday, Judge Boaz Usiku said UPM failed to explain how the immediate withdrawal of Van Wyk and Bertoloni from the National Assembly by PDM rendered the matter urgent. Moving over to Market Watch, it reports that the Development Bank of Namibia has disbursed $20.38 billion Namibian in loans since its inception 2 decades ago, which resulted in the creation of more than 115,000 jobs. The DBN has emerged as a contributor to our government's vision for development, uplifting Namibian businesses by giving financial assistance to our entrepreneurs at grassroots level and helping our bigger players expand in regional and international markets, said the Executive Director of the Ministry of Finance, Titus Ndove. On the other side of the break, we'll be taking a look at our economic news.
Hi, Kambaripa.
Hi, Melissa.
You look upset. Is everything okay?
A healthcare worker refused to attend to me because I visited the healthcare facility without a guardian.
Healthcare workers are not allowed to do that. This sounds like a job for your shield of survival.
Huh?
Your rights, they're your superpowers. Your shield of survival is your right to life, health, nutrition, shelter, and an adequate standard of living.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Prospective lithium producer Lepidco Chemicals Namibia is currently locked in litigation due to a blocked access road which leads to a drilling project. The company announced an update to investors. Exploration activities during the quarter were largely limited to regional and reconnaissance work within Mining License 204 and Exclusive Prospective License 5349 due to road access being blocked to a priority drill target, it said in its update to the market. To resolve the impasse, the company approached the Windhoek High Court in hopes of finding a workable solution. During the quarter, Lepidco filed a motion with the High Court in Namibia against a local property owner for a locked gate that denies access to a public road. It is expected that the situation will be resolved in the June quarter, which should allow ground access to this lithium, cesium, tantalum, pegmatitis target with visible lepidolite in the outcrop, it said. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.28, against the euro at 19.94, against the US dollar at 18.65, $2 Namibian dollars and 59 cents gets you one Chinese yuan. On the Namibia Stock Exchange, Namibia Breweries Limited went up at 0.03%, while Lechaho Holdings Namibia Limited also went up at 2.50%, while First Rand Namibia Limited went down at 0.50%. On the commodities market, gold and platinum went up, while copper and Brent crude oil went down. Brent crude oil trading at 2.25%, going for $84 and 74 cents per barrel. Overall index went down at 0.05%, while the local index went up at 0.12%. Let's take a look at our news from Africa. Nigeria has raised salaries for civil servants by between 25% and 35% to help them cope with the rising cost of living. The lowest paid government employee will now earn $324 a year. Reuters news agency reports police and military officers are among state workers who are set to benefit from the pay rises, which will be backdated to January. The announcement came on the eve of Wednesday's Workers' Day holiday. However, the rate of inflation is currently more than 30%, the highest figure in nearly 3 decades. The cost of food has risen even more by 35%, according to the latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics. So the pay rises mean that salaries for civil servants stay roughly the same in real terms, what it can buy in the shops and markets. Pensions for those workers who benefit were also increased by between 20% and 28%. The National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission said the hikes came after the government recently raised the salaries of academic staff members and healthcare workers. After this short break, we'll be taking a look at our international news.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bill that would expand the federal definition of anti-Semitism despite opposition from civil liberties groups. The bill passed by House on Wednesday by a margin of 320 to 91, and it is largely seen as a reaction to the ongoing anti-war protests unfolding on U.S. university campuses. It now goes to the Senate for consideration. If the bill were to become law, it would codify a definition of anti-Semitism created by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance in Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That is a federal anti-discrimination law that bars discrimination based on shared ancestry, ethnic characteristics, or national origin. Adding IHRA's definition to the law would allow the Federal Department of Education to restrict funding and other resources to campuses perceived as tolerating anti-Semitism. On the other side of the break, we'll be taking a look at our local sports news. Do stay with NMH at 1.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Let's take a look at what's happening in our local sports. The Namibia Breweries Limited on Tuesday announced its sponsorship of $3 million to the Namibia Rugby Union in support of various programs leading up to the 2027 Rugby World Cup to be held in Australia. In our next story, Southern Stream 1st Division log leaders Namibian Correctional Service maintained their winning momentum with 2 victories against DTS 4-1 and Davos 2-1. The Namibia Volleyball Federation, in collaboration with Bank Windhoek, is delighted to announce the highly anticipated Bank Windhoek National Open Beach Volleyball Tournament, which will take place from tomorrow to Sunday at the picturesque Mall Beach in Swakopmund. We'll be right back with the international sports news right after this.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Leading us into our international sports news, Dortmund's Füllkrug fired a first half goal to seal a 1-0 victory over visitors Paris Saint-Germain in their Championship League semi-final first leg on Wednesday. Ralf Rangnick said on Thursday he wished to continue as Austria's head coach with Euro 2024 the immediate goal, delivering a fresh blow to Bayern Munich in their search for a replacement for outgoing boss Thomas Tuchel. Kaizer Chiefs will be targeting another win over a Tshwane giant when they face Mamelodi Sundowns in Thursday's DStv Premiership encounter at the FNB Stadium. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and after the break, we'll be getting into the highlights from today's broadcast. Getting into the highlights from today's broadcast, Nigeria has raised salaries for civil servants by between 25% and 35% to help them cope with the rising cost of living. The lowest paid government employee will now earn $324 a year, Reuters news agency reports. The United States House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bill that would expand the federal definition of anti-Semitism despite opposition from civil liberties groups. The Namibia Breweries Limited on Tuesday announced its sponsorship of $3 million to the Namibia Rugby Union in support of various programs leading up to the 2027 Rugby World Cup to be held in Australia. Those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia and beyond. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.